members of Ramsey Solutions. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. My co-host today is Rachel Cruze, #1 best-selling author, co-host of Smart Money Happy Hour, and author also of a brand new, our second best-selling book of hers on the kids list. It comes out April 16th, and it's up for sale right now. And we have been test marketing it among the grandkids, and it's working. I'm glad for where I am. The first one was I'm glad for what I have, and so her new book coming out soon. So she's going to be helping me with your questions today. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Micah is with us to start off this hour. He's in Huntsville. Hey, Micah, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Okay, so I just started the baby steps like last month, and I have $1,000 in the emergency fund already. It's getting springtime, and my yard's getting pretty high. I'm needing a lawnmower, and I don't currently have the cash to pay for one, but I got like $2,000 that I could put down on one, not finance, but just buy like a cheap one. Or I could hire somebody to cut my grass for the summer while I save to buy a nicer lawnmower, because I live on like 10 acres, which I'm not going to keep 10 acres cut, but just wondering your thoughts on what I should do on that.
Okay, so how much do you actually keep cut?
About 4 or 5.
Okay, and how have you been doing it before now?
Well, we just built the house last year, and so I really haven't had a yard.
Oh, okay.
After all the dozer work was done, it was just kind of like a mud hole.
Yeah.
So we planted grass, though, and I try to keep about 4 or 5 acres cut.
Okay. So it's not been cut prior to now, or if it was, somebody else did it, right?
Correct. It was a 10-acre pasture, and it was bush hogged up until the time we built.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
How much debt do you have, Micah?
Currently, we have just the mortgage, and then we also have a car payment. The car's about $28,000. And we're on track to pay it off by the end of the year.
What's your household income?
After taxes, about $90,000.
Okay, all right. Well, the thing on something like this, the beautiful thing about you calling is you're actually thinking about it. Because at this time last year, if you were facing the same thing, you would have gone and financed a $8,000 stupid tractor of some kind, right? That you couldn't afford. That you couldn't afford.
My dad listened to y'all while I was growing up, so the only stupid decision I ever made was to buy the car and finance it. And the only reason I did it was my wife and I, we both had paid for vehicles, but we was outgrowing the car that we was in with a family vehicle.
And you used that as an excuse to buy something you couldn't afford. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. And the okay, so it's a math thing. If your goal is to pay off the car, the more we spend on the lawn through service or tractor purchase, either one, the longer the car debt's going to hang around, obviously. So if you put every $1,000 you put towards this issue of lawn is $1,000 not going towards reducing the car. So obviously what you're asking is what's the least way we can do this? I don't know. I guess get a bid from somebody on what it'll take to mow it, and then compare that to what you could buy a used riding lawnmower on Facebook Marketplace for.
Right. I mean, if I drop $2,500 on a lawnmower, I could do that next month, but it would just push the
it pushes it out $2,500. But what are you going to spend to cut the thing all summer if you pay somebody else to do it? Probably more than $2,500, I would guess, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I mean, the cheapest way to do it is to buy the least priced used lawnmower that will get you through the summer.
Okay.
That's the cheapest way to do it.
I had one more question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
We've been starting our budget, the every dollar budget. We started that this month. And the miscellaneous category is kind of tough for me to figure out how much to put in miscellaneous each month, just because that fluctuates pretty good bit. When we got 2 kids under 2, I mean, they can get sick at the drop of a hat, or they may go a couple months without getting sick. There's expenses that we don't plan for sometimes that occur during the month, and we just don't want to kill our budget by not planning enough.
Yeah, I would probably up it at the beginning. And then once you guys have done this like 3 or 4 months, there's usually a consistent, or how it worked in our house, that consistent thing that keeps coming every month that we throw in the miscellaneous that we end up just making a budget line item for.
Yeah, like if kids are going to the doctor every 3 months or 2 months, then that's a budget line item.
Yes, sir.
I mean, and if you got 2 under 2, it's like a rule. You have to pay the pediatrician's Porsche payment. I mean,
oh my gosh.
You know, it's like you have to go over there. It's federal law, right? And so the kids are going to do that. When they're little bitties, they do that.
They are, yeah. They
and
get
so
sick.
you're going to have some, so it's really not a surprise. It really wouldn't shock you. And right to Rachel's point, if it reoccurs, then you just make a line item for it and put an amount in that, say, kids medical, okay, in every dollar, and then you lower whatever you put in there, you lower your miscellaneous by that.
Yeah, and I would say too, Micah, and to anyone listening that is budgeting for the first time, that miscellaneous category, I would make it higher than what you think you need, because there's going to be expenses in your life that you don't even realize because you haven't been budgeting.
Right.
And so you're going to go through a few months of it to be able to say, oh my gosh, okay, that's the thing that keeps coming up. Or, oh, we got this way more under control, and so we can actually lower the miscellaneous. So I would be more conservative, more liberal, conservative, higher amount on the miscellaneous category for now, Micah, especially since
it's not political, more liberal.
No, I was like, it's more like, here.
You're
freedom,
not a liberal.
Freedom.
It's just more money.
You never know. You never know.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So
how much is a lawnmower though, for real?
No, I mean,
like a zero turn.
You can buy a push mower right now, on a used push mower, all day long on Facebook Marketplace for $50. But 5 acres, that's like 73 days you'll be cutting out
but
there.
But how much is like a zero turn?
I don't know.
Do you like that phrase?
Hey, look at that. So probably a couple grand.
5?
He's probably
$5,000.
You can pick it up for 2, a used one, but it's not one you want. It's one to get the grass cut with.
Yeah.
So it won't bake bread, and it won't catch fish while you're mowing. And some of them will. So some of them will do it with GPS.
Fancy.
Yeah. So no, we're trying to basically cut the grass. That's all. That's the goal.
I wonder in Huntsville. What I was thinking, I was like, some kid this summer is gonna be doing this for their job.
I know, but $2,000 for the whole summer for 5 acres? I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt it. I might be wrong.
That seems like a lot. I don't know.
Okay. But that's $2,000. That's the analysis. I want to go back to the other thing, because when you first start budgeting.
What, that I'm a liberal?
No. We're not worried about that, because you'll just get thrown out of the family. But the
oh my gosh.
But the we would have to fire you. But
you would.
But anyway,
I'm here for all people.
Yes, we love all people, but we aren't all people.
I'm here.
We love them, but that doesn't mean we want to be them. Okay, so
it's going downhill.
Anyway,
I'm a conspiracy theorist.
I know.
I'll own that label.
That one you can have. Yeah, that one's legal. Okay. So the miscellaneous, it takes 90 days of doing your budget for your budget to start to work. And part of it is the things you don't expect to come when you first start doing this, like kids' medical or activity fees at school or so on. So give yourself some grace to lean into that over the first 90 days. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, I've told you before about Christian Healthcare Ministries, a health cost-sharing ministry. But listen to Jenna, a CHM member. She says, one of my biggest concerns about entrepreneurship and motherhood was figuring out how to take care of our health expenses. But we have found a solution that works for us in an incredible way. She loves that with CHM, she can help other families who need it and receive help back when her own family has an eligible medical event. CHM has been a godsend for Jenna. That's her CHM story, and it could be yours. Learn more and join at chministries.org/budget.
Rachel Cruze, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author. My daughter is my co-host today. Melody's in Atlanta. Hi, Melody. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
So We are within 2 weeks, in theory, of having our firstborn and trying to figure out.
Yay! What are you having?
I'm excited. Little boy.
All right. Very fun.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Just trying to figure out best options for investments moving forward, past just like work 401ks and what we can kind of do as a little extra to have him set up.
Okay, is this for your son you're thinking for specifically, or you guys as a family, or like as a couple?
As a family.
Okay, are you guys?
He'll have to work when the time comes.
Yes. Are you guys working your way out of debt, or are you out now?
No, we are out of debt. We finished paying off our house 2 weeks ago.
Oh, way to go!
Oh my gosh,
you're 100% debt free.
Yes, sir.
Way to go!
So you guys are.
Both cars are paid for. One was the one I had when we got married. The other one we paid cash for a little over about 2 years ago, I guess.
Gosh, that's so impressive. How much do you guys make a year?
It fluctuates. My husband works very, very hard. It ranges. He has his salary, but then he has like on the road per diem, and then he has like premium time he can make as well.
So how much do you make a year?
Range. Salary is just a little over 100, and then his take home last year was a little over 2.
Okay, that's
excellent. Way to go!
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I would stick with maxing out what you can, and maxing out. You guys will be beyond the Roth. I think it's.
You can do a Roth.
Backdoor.
Yeah. No, you can do a Roth. I mean, if he's under 200 AGI, he will be. So probably somewhere around there. You can do backdoor or regular. You need to be maxing out both Roths. You need to be maxing out 401ks, hopefully in a Roth with a match, and you max out your 529 for the kiddo. Or you don't have to max it out, but put
some in there.
6 or 8, 10 grand in there a year. And if you do that, he's going to go to college anywhere he wants to go. If you do that, he's going to go to college anywhere he wants to go. And if you put all you can put in 401ks and Roths, how old are you guys?
He's 32. I'm 30.
Okay, that alone at 65 will have you between $5 and $10 million just doing that.
Okay, you said both Roths.
Yeah.
So you can have one a spousal, even though you don't work. You can open one Melody under your name.
Right. So we have 401k with his work,
yes.
And then that's what is it the Roth IRA, like the personal one?
Yes.
I've been trying to do some research on that, but got a little confused.
Yes, you can do a Roth IRA each, $6,000, and he can max out his 401k. If he has a Roth option on the 401k, it should be doing that.
Okay.
And
Perfect. Sorry, writing it down.
So what you need to do is jump on RamseySolutions.com and click on SmartVestor and find a SmartVestor Pro in your area. These are the mutual fund brokers that we recommend, and you can find one that they have the heart of a teacher, or we don't put them on there. So they're going to sit down and teach you what is best and what these numbers will turn into. So you're going to be very, very wealthy if you just do that. Now, once you've maxed out all of that stuff, you're at what we call baby step 7. No debt at all. There's nothing left to do but become extremely wealthy and be wildly generous. That's it. That's all you got left to do. So, and enjoy some money in the process. So, beyond that, then you start talking about, okay, am I going to do more mutual fund investing, or am I going to pay cash for some rental real estate if you want to be in that world, that kind of thing. Those are the two things I have done beyond maxing out everything. But your first step is get the 529 started for kiddo. Once he's got a Social Security number, he's arrived, then you can do that. And do that in a month or two here. And you guys max out the 401 with the match and max out both Roths. That's a really good start. And again, if that's all you ever do for the next 30 years, it's going to be millions and millions and millions of dollars. So you're going to be in great shape. But why not even do more, and why not enjoy more, and why not be even more generous? So sit down with a SmartVestor Pro, and they'll help you do all that.
Yeah. And for kids, because I've talked to a lot of families who are like, okay, if we max everything out, what investment options besides just education can I do for my kids?
You don't.
And there are UPMA accounts. There's other options.
But I wouldn't.
Why?
I would just build the wealth in your name, and then leave it to them as a part of the estate.
when the parent dies, though.
That's well, or you could if you want to hand them some money.
Yeah,
later,
yeah, that's what I was saying.
You could hand them money at death, or you could hand them money early.
Yeah.
But there's no point in putting it in their name.
Yeah.
There's no, because you don't have, you lose control and you lose options. So when you build wealth, you're building wealth for your whole family. Your family's going to get the use of the wealth. So there's no point in putting it in the kid's name because, the kid may decide that they're, they may have all kinds of problems or something, And
they can get to.
Yeah.
Get to it.
Yeah, they own it. Mm-hmm. But an UTMA.
At what, 18 though?
21 on a UTMA. But yeah, Uniform Transfer to Minors Act is when you open an account in the child's name, UTMA, and put your name on it as the custodian, but you do not have control of it. So he's doing heroin at 21. He's got $1 million. Not this kid, but another kid. The kid's doing $1 million, and he's got $1 million. You just killed your kid.
I know.
Because you're going to access that, and they're going to overdose on heroin. So you have to control it. No,
You're being so dramatic.
No, but this is what happens. I've been doing this 30 years. So.
I know, but I'm just saying though, for family, okay, because say you're like, okay, you think about Melody, they freaking have everything paid off. I know, I'm going down a road, so follow me.
I'll try.
Everything paid off. They have a baby born in a month, so in 18 years. Say Melody and her husband are like, yeah, we'll help with like the down payment on the home because he's not doing heroin and he's awesome and has a job and he's paying taxes. He's responsible.
Yeah,
okay?
he's a great kid.
He's a great kid.
This one's going to turn out.
And it's like, great. We have Melody and husband so much money and we want to help our kids continue that legacy. So we want to, say, hey, here's a down payment for a home, or here's something that is not college related.
Yeah, you can.
Isn't there a gift tax? Like, doesn't that get into like
you can avoid
taxes?
Gift tax with Uniform Transfer to Minors Act,
which is a UTMA.
No.
What?
I'm sorry. Unified Estate Tax Credit.
I was like, that's exactly
I picked up the wrong
about.
uni.
Okay.
Unified Estate Tax Credit, and you can avoid it and move money anytime you need to. And of course, the other thing is this: you can gift tax this year's what? I don't know, $15,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that. And so, let's say that if you want to give your grown kids some money, I need to look. James, find the gift tax and tell me what it is. But because I can't remember nothing. Oh, it's right here. It's on my notebook. Oh, hello. I got this cheat sheet I should use. All right. They change it. They up it for inflation every year. $17,000. Okay. So if a married couple has a grown married child in their 20s,
yes,
there's 4 players involved.
Yep.
Mom can give daughter-in-law and son
each.
17 each, 2 checks.
Okay.
Dad can give daughter-in-law and son 17 each in
so it's 60,000 ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's $64,000 or $68,000. Okay, in 1 year. If you happen to do it at Christmas, you do it again 3 weeks later. And you got $128,000.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so,
that makes sense.
You can get to just about anywhere you want to get to just using that, without even using the Unified Estate Tax Credit, which means you're using up some of your estate exemptions in the federal by using it against gift tax. So you can get your money to your kids while you're alive.
Because that's part of all of this, you guys, is changing your family tree. When we talk about that, yes, that is knowledge, that's character, like there's so much there. Mm-hmm. But also I think about the reality of so many people listening now that are so young. And if they start doing this, they're going to look
so much money.
They're going to have so much money in 20 years. Yeah. And part of changing that family tree is, what does this look like?
Well, all three of you turned out so far, okay, and so so far, right, and
you can use some of that estate.
None of you had big accounts in your names, except that your college funds were UTMAs because there was not a 529 back then. And we handed your UTMA to you.
Yes. That
was your old college fund because we'd cash flowed the college, and you guys used that for your first houses and stuff.
Yes.
And that got you going on your wealth stuff. But you didn't have $1 million in your name when you graduated from college.
No.
But I did. I had $1 million in my name, and then I could do stuff with it if I wanted to.
I hear you.
Statistics show that half of Americans don't have enough life insurance. or they don't have any at all. I don't understand this, John. Why don't people want to take care of their family? They think they're going to die or something?
Well, I used to be one of those guys. I didn't even think about it. And one of my buddies said, hey, the only reason to not have life insurance is if you hate your wife and kids. And I immediately went and got term life insurance.
That's a gut punch.
And, you're telling me, and for decades, Dave, I've sat across people who've lost a spouse. They've lost somebody important to them.
Me too.
And they don't know what to do next.
Me too. I mean, you're going to have a crisis here. And, you got two options while you're sitting and talking to a young widow. She's concerned about how she's going to invest all this money properly and not mess this up, or she's concerned how she's going to eat tomorrow.
That's exactly
These are the
right.
two options.
And
take care of your dadgum family, man.
Term life insurance can replace income, pay off debts, cover funeral expenses, so your family can actually have the opportunity to just be sad.
Yeah.
To just miss you.
That's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's saying I love you to your family. Term life insurance. Jeff Zander and the team at Zander Insurance makes it easy and affordable. I've used them personally for 25 years. They're the only people I trust. Go to Zander.com or call 800-356-4282. So Rachel Cruze, my co-host today and daughter, has a brand new book out. Comes out April 16th. We're in pre-sale right now. I'm Glad for Where I Am, a new children's book. It's all about gratitude. The first one was about contentment. If you will teach your kiddos gratitude and contentment, you set them on a real wonderful psychological path, the health of their psychology, the health of their emotions, a wonderful spiritual path, and those two things will lead them to an ability to build wealth. Because people who are grateful and people who are content have a very high tendency to win with money and life, for that matter. So that's what this is all about. There's not just a little kid's book. There's a game here that we're playing that's a long ball. Yeah. So this comes out. Now, you're going to be doing signings in several cities. Are we announcing that yet?
I am. I don't have all the details, but signings will be in L.A., Dallas, Phoenix, and Atlanta.
So story time.
Yeah, so I'm going to do a story time. Yeah, local Barnes & Nobles, but we'll get you the exact addresses and times. So probably around 1 o'clock signings. And those cities coming up in 2 weeks. So excited.
And Ken Coleman's new book that comes from the Get Clear assessment of his. Almost 100,000 folks have taken the Get Clear assessment. You can get it on our website. But we're putting a book companion piece with it called Find the Work You're Wired to Do that explains the results of and includes the Get Clear assessment. So you'll get a code to take the assessment, and then this will walk you through what you're learning about yourself to get plugged into the proper career that's not only fulfilling, but it turns out when you love what you do and when you're good at it and you're fulfilling and you're fulfilled at it, you will make the most you've ever made in your life, which is part of the goal here. And so very few people maximize their income doing something they hate and that they suck at. Very few. That's just highly unusual. So, but that book is also in pre-sale. It comes out technically, and we'll ship it to you first week of May. And so all of those are on sale, and that's what's happening around here right now. All right, Rachel is with us in Salt Lake City. Hi, Rachel. Welcome to the Ramsey Show. Hi.
Hi there. How are you?
Good. How can we help?
Sorry, excuse me, I'm extremely nervous to talk to you. Been following you for the last 4 months really heavily after having a sister nonstop in my ear about Dave Ramsey.
Listen, anyone with an accent as cool as yours should not be nervous to talk to us.
I know.
So is it British or Australian? What am I missing?
It's British. British. You're right. It's
so
British.
Where are you from in the UK?
From Poole, from Dorset.
Oh,
originally. Wow. But we're actually emigrated 2 years ago, and I'm going to try and make this. It seems like an easy question, but it's complicated, so I'm going to try and not ramble. We emigrated 2 years ago because we couldn't do in the UK what we wanted to do here, which was buy land, build. My husband has been in construction for 15 years and is really good at it. We raised all the capital, we came here, and within a month of moving here, I was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer.
Oh, my.
And all of our money went to keeping me alive, plus about $36,000 worth of credit card debt.
I'm calling that a good investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But still, so we're not massively in debt. Just that $36,000 of credit card debt. But long story short, my husband, on top of that, his dad passed away very suddenly. He was healthy and passed very suddenly last year. And we're about to receive roughly about what we've spent on keeping me alive back in inheritance from his father's estate.
Wow.
And we are in my husband is sitting next to me. He didn't want to be on speaker because he has an accent too, and he didn't think he'd hear him properly. But we're just in a place where we're following your steps, and we know we should pay the debt off, but we're in disagreement with what that money should do, because he knows he can take that and he can change our lives within 8 to 10 months by investing what his dad's inheritance will bring and put us straight into out clear with 6 months in the bank, saving,
Rachel,
out of debt.
Rachel,
clear.
how much money is this?
It's 120, but land's only about 28,000 here, and he can knock it up real quick. So and we can sell it for 350. So the numbers work. It's not a pipe dream. We've done the numbers. We came out with a business plan. We do know what we're doing, but we're.
So you're going to build something for $128,000 that you can sell for 350.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay.
Obviously, less fees. There's going to be fees, and but then with the plan is to reinvest it and then go to a piece of land that he can do 4 on, and to grow from there. That was what we came here to do, because we couldn't do that.
Normal builder margins in the United States of America are nowhere near that. This is these are numbers. These are numbers I've never seen before, and I do a lot of real estate.
I understand. We have run the numbers. We've got an estate agent. We've looked at the market. 350 is on the higher side. The worst case scenario is going to be 300. And my husband's doing the work himself, so he's not having to. Obviously, like I said, he's been in construction for 15 years, so he knows how to do ground up. He does everything, and is qualified just about everything you can imagine. So we're doing this. We've not got a whole lot of labor costs because my husband is doing this while I'm working and keeping our bills paid through my job.
A guy building a house completely by himself.
He'll have help, but it's just not going to cost a lot because they're laborers, because he knows what he's doing.
Rachel, do you guys have any other savings? Do you guys have any other savings?
We don't, like I said. Well, we've got the 1,000. We've got the emergency fund. We started our debt snowball as well, so we're into our debt snowball. But like I said, we're arguing back and forth because I want to clear the debt and then wait, and he's saying it's going to take. He worries if I relapse or anything else goes wrong, we'll never get this opportunity again. He's worried that if we don't do this now, then
so here's what makes me nervous about it, Rachel, because I trust you guys. You run the numbers, you know what you're doing. It's not a question of that. But whenever you make a decision that is so single focused, and the language you're using or the language that he's using that you're telling us, it is this urgency. It's this, if I don't do this now, it's never going to happen again. And you can plug in that, Rachel, that scenario, that language with kids going to college. Mm-hmm. If I got accepted this college, if I don't go this fall, then this and this isn't going to happen. Or someone buying a house, and they'll tell us it's the only house. This is the only house we can do. It's our only option. And when you start to do that, Rachel, you start to lose the ability to make decisions because you don't have options. And so what I would say is I would slow down. I really believe you guys know what you're doing. He's very talented. He's really good at what he does. But that's the business side of his world. But what we're talking about here is your personal home and your personal debt and where you guys are. And this inheritance is coming in. And so I would clear it, because the urgency of the other option as well. Usually people don't make great decisions when when you're in that position. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is a fatalistic language. What do you make?
We make about 110 between us a year.
Okay. So why can you not pay off $36,000 in 12 months?
Because we're paying, you're going to hate me, Dave. Don't make me tell you. We have our kids in private. We have 2 children in Christian private school, and that takes quite a lot. We tried public school, and my daughter has autism, and my son has gastroparesis, and the state just wouldn't work with us around that. So we moved them into private school. We do.
What
get
do you do for a living?
Amazing. I am a piano and voice teacher, and my husband obviously owns a construction company.
And he's doing construction now.
Yes, he is. So he's working for. He picks up projects and is working. But wants to be working for himself. This is what we came to do. So
Rachel,
I had to go back and
listen. As mom, all the health stuff that you guys have been through, and then as you just explained with your 2 kids, I'm like, I would not want risk. I would want everything paid, and I want a pile of money in the bank because the amount of situations that can come up for you guys is a lot.
So the answer to the question is no. I would not build the house.
That's what I said.
I would not build the house. I would pay off the debt, and I would go. If I'm your husband, I'm going to start doing renovations and rehabs for other people, self-employed, because he has the ability to do this. He can make a lot more money than he's making now, and build that business and build some cash base back up, and then go do this other deal. Because I got to tell you, I've been doing this a long time, and I know a lot about building. I'm building a house right now, and the numbers you're giving me, they don't work. I know you like them and you believe in them, but that's the other problem. Your home is probably the biggest purchase you'll ever make. And with the real estate market like it is now, you'll need a mortgage company you can trust. That's Churchill Mortgage. You guys, buying a home is not a button push. It's a process. It takes building a relationship with an expert who will dig into the details and give you peace of mind without busting your budget. Churchill is one of the highest rated lenders in the country, and they're Ramsey trusted because they do what's right for you. Go to churchillmortgage.com to get started. Circle backs before I get 9,000 comments about how dumb I am at taxes, because I am, and that would be accurate, but there's no reason to make it worse. So the gift tax is not $17,000. Even my cheat sheet that was in front of me, because my brain doesn't remember all these things, was wrong, and so it's actually $18,024. So an individual can give an individual $18,000 without any gift tax or income tax. If an individual gives an individual more than that, or if you're not a nonprofit, okay, then you're going to get gift tax. But I can give an individual $18,000, and then my wife can give an individual $18,000, and so that gets them $36,000. And so with grown children that are married, you can do it 4 times. Father to daughter, father to son-in-law, daughter, or mom to daughter, mom to son-in-law, right? And so that creates 4 checks of $18,000. So that would be $72,000 you can move. So sorry, guys, just don't need to get your hate later. You hate me for a lot of things that I don't even do. That one I actually did. So the other thing is this. I want to continue our conversation just a little bit, just in general. So the last caller, Rachel, you brought up the most important part on that call, which is that when you narrow it down to, I've got just one shot.
Yeah.
And if I miss that one shot on any decision that you're making, you are now rationalizing the decision because it is not a fact that you only have one shot. So if I don't get this house, I'm never going to get a house. If I don't buy this car, I'm never going to get a car. God only put one person on the entire planet for me to marry, and if I miss that one, I'm going to not be married. Bullcrap, okay? Just bad thinking skills. So anytime that you allow anxiety, the stress and strain of life, the tragedies of life, the fact you've been fighting cancer or anything else to narrow you down to one singular decision. Rachel's point, it was that you're going to make a bad decision.
Yeah. And we find that a lot with people because money is a tool, in your life that you're using. And when life is hard or life feels out of control or life feels like, oh my gosh, this is this one thing, then you use that tool money to go and
try to get the control back.
And try to get that control back. Yeah. And so there is a patience to slow down and to say, let me gather some more options, option A, B, and C. And out of that, then you can start making, okay, maybe the answer still is A for whatever your situation is, but at least you've researched and you've thought and you've taken time to look at B and C. Because man, because I don't know, we talk to people all the time and it was like, we're in a house and we shouldn't have bought it, but we just thought it was a really good deal. We didn't think we could find another deal like this. So we got in it and turns out it wasn't, and you get in this mindset and it's just it's really dangerous.
So a couple of bad decisions are one of the primary things that steal your wealth. So decision-making principles are important. So decision-making principle number one, if you think there's only one or two things to do, you haven't spent enough time gathering up options. Options are power. Options are informative. Options cause you to really think clearly. And so, like the people that call in, they go, well, we've got mold in our house and the only other house that we can live in is $4,000 a month and we make $5,000. So do we buy a house and go bankrupt or do we stay in the moldy house and kill our children? And like you have two stupid butt options, and I'm supposed to choose between these two. C, none of the above. Keep looking. You haven't figured it out yet, And so that's the kind of thing we're talking about. We get that call, actually. So that's a call that's come in more than once over the years. And so it's just because you justify the crap out of doing something you don't need to do.
Well, and fear will do that too.
Yes.
Did you hear that in your example of mold in the house, which is very real? But also her husband in the last call, he said, what if you relapse? She said that,
fear.
And there's a level of fear there. And
so facts, John Maloney says, when you're facing trauma, facts are your friends.
Yep.
And facts are more and more options.
And that's a plural.
Number two decision-making principle. Slow down to the extent of the size of the decision. Quit spending all your calories on nothing decisions. Some people spend more time deciding which gum to purchase in the gas station than they do which car to purchase. You spent your calories on the wrong thing. The bigger the decision, the more time. And then, I can't, I'm frozen with indecision, Dentine, or Eclipse. But I impulsed a Porsche. It's like, this is the backwards stuff right here. So the size of the decision means you need to slow down and have more and more options. And then the length of and patience, your pulse rate needs to drop. If you got house fever, go take a cold shower. Your pulse rate needs to drop. You're about to do something stupid because you can just hear it. You can hear the anxiety in people's voices when they call in here with these things, and not just her. She's a sweet girl. She was nervous as part of it too.
Oh no, but there's a high level of emotion.
Then
for
circle
sure.
back one more thing on her call because I really need to get this out here for her to hear and her husband to hear, but also everybody else. Okay, the option of taking your $128,000 and putting it into a spec house, building a house from the ground up on a piece of real estate and flipping it immediately, a house that's speculation, builder spec house, is one option. But let me just tell you, I grew up in the construction business. I've had my real estate license since I was 18, and I'm older than dirt. So I've been doing this stuff a long, long time. I can tell you for sure that if you have builder skills, you show up on time, you finish the project of renovation or new construction on time, and you build a budget and stick to the budget, you are an unusual animal. You are very, very marketable because most people in the construction business can't even show up, much less finish, and their numbers are so screwed that they piss everybody off they're dealing with because they don't show up on time, they miss their numbers, and they don't finish on time. And so they never get repeat business because they make everybody mad that they're dealing with. If you'll just show up on time, you can own the world. And finish on time and hit your numbers, you can own the world. So that young man, if he can do the deal he thinks he can do renovations and make $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
He can grow a renovation and new and custom housing business, build decks, put porches on the back, whatever it is. He can make a bazillion dollars if he has the skill set that she says he has, and I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
And if he can actually pull off projects, show up on time, take a bath, and finish the project on time and hit your numbers, you got no competition because nobody else in that space hardly does it. Very few do. And the ones that do end up being custom home builders for the rich.
Yeah.
Because
they're excellent at what they do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you got so much potential out there if you do that. I think you could take that you can take $128,000 minus $36,000 worth of credit card debt, use that to do some renovations, parlay your way into $300,000 in cash, and go do you a couple of these specs later. If your numbers are right and I'm wrong, because I think your numbers are unrealistic, but if I'm wrong about that, which I'm happy to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you make 100% margin on a construction project, but it's very unusual. Doesn't happen. Okay. So if you can do that, then you can do what I'm talking about with what's left over after you pay the credit card debt off.
Yep.
And that's your third option.
That's right. And it's a classic, too, example, which happens in so many families and so many marriages, is you kind of got your realist and your dreamer, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, just give me this shot, right? And not that all dreamers are wrong, because sometimes it's right. But also, I would say to him, listen to your wife. The emotional space in your home, bring the peace of not owing anyone anything.
Yeah.
Bring the peace of having savings in the bank. Like, bring the peace, and then let's focus on everything else.
And let's grow this construction business.
For a wife that's been sick and kids that are like all of it. I'm like, oh,
yeah. This shame idea that I spent the money our family was going to get rich on to save me from cancer, and I'm ashamed. That's ridiculous. I mean, no.
Yes.
No. So no. Your family's going to be fine, even though you had cancer. This is The Ramsey Show. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Rachel Cruze, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, host of The Rachel Cruze Show, and co-host of Smart Money Happy Hour, 2 of the Ramsey Network's more popular podcasts and YouTube shows. Also my daughter. She's my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Tara is with us in Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, Tara. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Thanks. You ready for my question?
Yeah. Oh, there you are. You cut out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm standing as close to a window as I can.
Yeah, you're great.
Are you ready for the question?
We'll try.
Okay. We're looking for advice on what we can do for financing for flipping houses. We currently use our home equity line of credit for the purchasing and remodeling. But, of course, that payment gets a little high. So we're just looking for some ideas of what to do.
Okay. I've probably done 1,500 or 2,000 flips in my life.
Okay.
That's what I used to do for a living before I went broke because I borrowed money doing flips. So for 35 years, I've taught people not to borrow money as a primary way to lower risk and create wealth. I don't borrow money, and so I'm not going to be able to help you borrow money.
Okay. What do you, do you just straight out advise just cash for flipping a house?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's a lot of reasons why. Okay. When you use financing to purchase a house that you're going to flip, you're not as careful as when you use money out of your bank account to purchase a house to flip. When you are using financing to do the renovation on the flip, you're not as careful as when you're pulling your stinking hard-earned money out of your checking account to do the renovation, and you end up spending more on the purchase, more on the renovation, thus your margins are lower. Oh, and then when you get ready to sell it and interest rates tick up from 3 to 7 and the market slows down dramatically and you're sitting on this thing with payments, you become what's called a motivated seller and you give up the rest of your margin. So your margins are destroyed when you do flips for those 3 reasons with financing. So I would go a lot slower, buy a lot smaller, buy something seriously junky and tiny, and flip it with cash out of your pocket. Use every bit of the profits from that to upgrade your flip to the next one, upgrade your flip to the next one, and organically grow your cash base with profits to increase the quality of the flip that you're doing. Because what you are doing causes more people to go broke than it prospers more people, including me.
Okay.
So I'm really scared for you, because the thing that has to go through your mind when you're doing these deals is that this is all going to work, and it never, in real estate, I've done thousands of transactions, it never works exactly the way you thought it was going to.
Yep, that's exactly right. And, Tara, my husband, just even this last year, he's kind of started in this game.
He's done 3 flips.
Yeah, and we've cash flowed it. And you're right.
And he's good at real estate.
And he does it. So I can't take any credit. But yeah, there's it's a state sale. There's dead rats in the house. I mean, they're not pretty properties. But then when you go and what you're saying, you make the selections, and it's us making the selections out of our own account. You are like, okay, what can we do here to save money here? I mean, you were thinking through everything. We brought the kids out to do the yard work last weekend over Easter to help move some stuff before they went through and tore out the bushes. And, you just think about it different. And it's a slower process. It's not as fun and flashy, but there's so much less risk. And if something were to happen, you're okay. You're okay because you don't owe a bank something, it goes back to the options like we talked about in the last hour.
I mean, let's pretend there was a Fauci pandemic or something like that, and the market just froze like a deer in the headlights, and nobody's leaving their home, and they're cuddled up in the corner with their mask.
Well, and what happened with you was that you had so many of those going, and you were good at it.
Yeah.
And because of that, you kept building on it and making a bigger risk.
Yeah.
And then when
I had $1.7 million in finance flips at 24 years old. I owed the bank $1.7 million on flips.
Remind everybody, because that was
1984.
Decades ago. Because $1.7 million now for some people,
okay. It would be $8 million now. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had the equivalent of $8 million financed in today's dollars under flips at 24 years old in 1984. It was $1.7 million. $1.1 million with one bank, and this is how I learned not to borrow money.
Good.
Yeah, and I had 30% equity positions in almost every one of them. I was not late on a single note. So what happened, Dave? What happened to your little house of cards? The bank got sold. A small town bank, doing business with me. They knew I knew what I was doing. My family had been in the real estate business. I've got a family history of knowing what we're doing. All of a sudden, some bozo in Atlanta instead of Nashville is making a decision, and he looked down and said, a 24-year-old owes us $1.3 million. Have we lost our minds as a bank? Answer, yes, and they called our notes, which they have the right to do with commercial paper. It has a call provision in it if they don't like the quality of collateral. And they suddenly just declared that they didn't like the quality of their collateral anymore. And now I've got to come up with $1.3 million, and I'm 24 years old, and it's all tied up in real estate, and I probably got $30,000 in cash because I was a freaking genius and had it all figured out. Now, there's your TikTok deal right there. You TikTok morons wanting to flip houses. So there you go. And so that's exactly what's happening. Now, And I spent the next 3 years of my life losing everything I own. And so the year Rachel was born, we ended up filing bankruptcy at the bottom of it. Lost every stinking thing. One year I made $250,000. That's $20,000 a month and $1,984. The next year my taxable income was $6,000. I spent the whole year selling stuff to avoid foreclosure or being foreclosed on the way down into bankruptcy. So, yeah, trauma. I'm a trauma survivor. So that's it. And so Dave, don't borrow money. When the borrower is slave to the lenders in the Bible, I think God's smart. I think God knows something I don't know. And I don't borrow money anymore. So all that to say, Tara, call
the wrong guy.
No, but no, you know,
well, the right guy.
If whoever told you to call over here, I think they set you up. But yeah, I want you to go do flips. I mean, my son-in-law does them. My daughter's husband sitting right here, and I taught him how. I taught him a lot.
How to go get foreclosures.
Not everything. Yeah. I taught him how to buy foreclosures and buy real estate.
Yeah.
He worked running our Ramsey portfolio for a lot of years and still runs it. But he's using the formulas right now that we talked about back in those days, and he's paying cash. So I'm not against flips, but do it with cash. And you make way better decisions all the way across the board, and you don't turn yourself into a motivated seller. And you won't hear any of that on TikTok, I can tell you. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Visit Blinds.com to get up to 45% off. That's Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply. Rachel Cruze, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Glenda is in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Hi, Glenda. How are you?
I am good. How are you guys? Thank you for accepting my call.
Sure. How can we help?
Okay, just to get it out of the way, we are FPU flunkies. So just to start that with my question, I just wanted to make sure you knew that.
You're a beauty school dropout, huh? Okay.
We are, absolutely. Okay, so my question is, we've always heard that you say mobile homes go down in depreciation.
They do.
We agree. If you're in debt and you own your mobile home and the land, but not in the ideal living situation, should we sell to get a house or stay? We have animals, so we can't rent, and we have many animals. We take care of my parents, and my dad has dementia. And it's also affecting our marriage of where we're at. So
I'm sorry. What is affecting your marriage about where you're at?
We have family that live out that way. The family, one could be next door. There's drug use.
So you want to move? You want to move away because of that too?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Right, that
I
makes
just
sense.
don't want to be in that
just
kind
making
of
sure I understood
like
how it was affecting you.
You want to be around people.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, you want to be around people that you want to be like you say.
All right.
Yeah.
So what kind of animals have you got?
Chicken, ducks, dogs, cats, rabbits.
And how many acres do you have now?
We have close to an acre.
1 acre.
Close to it, yes.
Yeah, but you're just in the country, so you get away with all that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
These aren't city chickens. Okay.
No.
These aren't millennial yuppie chickens. Okay.
Nope, they're not.
The eggs are great.
Not.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
All right. So, like country chickens. Yeah. So that's good.
Gosh.
Country chicken.
How much could you sell
Country
everything
dog.
for, Glenda?
If you sold it, what would it bring?
We're guessing about 100,000.
With
Okay.
the land and the mobile home together?
Yes, because we did.
And what do
fix
you
up the
owe
mobile
on it?
home, but it's nothing. We own it outright. My parents gave us the land. We bought the mobile home.
So sell
my
it and
dad-
go buy
or my
something.
parents-
Sell it and go buy something for $100,000.
Ooh, should we do that for a house though? Because I don't want another mobile home.
No, I don't. You're not going to get another mobile home. It kind of defeats the purpose.
No, but you could take out a mortgage.
It might not be much of a house, but how much other debt have you
Okay. About 50,000.
got? On what?
Oh boy, here we go, Dave. All right, we got about. It's averaging 50,000. My numbers I don't have exactly with me, but it's about 13,000 on a car, which we're hoping to pay off in the next year. We have about a $17,000 personal loan because I got plastic surgery. I know, don't yell at me. We have I'd say about $12,000 in student loan, just miscellaneous debt. Anything else, Heath?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I would do is go out and start shopping for a very small or not such good condition home that is stick built, that will go up in value as you fix it up on a piece of ground, and and try to make a move that way.
Okay.
Now, then the other options are because whatever the value of this mobile home is in 5 years, can you and I agree it's going to be way less than it is now?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so you're causing your money to go backwards every day you keep this, and you're living next to family drug addicts. And so there's a lot of reasons to move. But every time we do something, there's always there's the pain of staying there next to the mess, and the pain of staying there with the mobile home going down, but the pain of moving to get your family away from those two things might be no chickens.
Yeah, I would be fine getting away from it.
Yeah, and so the animals, you may have to cut the animals down to a level that you can rent for a little while, write a check and pay off everything, and have a lower animal level. And I love animals, but you got to make choices in these situations.
Yeah. And it's greater in this situation, obviously, from a financial and just, getting away from the mess, to be able to say we have peace over here, and that may mean selling off.
Yeah. So let's pretend that we could write a prescription for you if we were the doctor, okay? And here, if you go fill this prescription, you will be wealthy, okay? So you sell the place. You go rent something with $50,000 in the bank and zero debt, and you straighten your act up and go back through Financial Peace University, get on a budget, increase your incomes, and let's pile up cash on top of that 50. And 2 years from now, let's buy a nice place for 150 because you have no payments except a little rent payment. It's going to cost you some animals, and you're going to have a lot of peace in your life because you have zero debt and zero drug use next door. And you're going to be cleaning up looking in the mirror, and you're not going to say I'm a dropout anymore. You're going to go back through Financial Peace University, and I'm going to pay for it. And if you go do all of that stuff, your life is going to be such a completely different place 4 years from now, 5 years from now than it is now. But if you go do one of those things, it's not going to work. You're going to be right where you are. You can't just do part of this. You can't take, if the doctor gives you 4 prescriptions, say, I'm just going to take one of them, and then gripe because you're still hurting.
Yeah.
I'm still ill. My health is still bad. So you're going to have to do the whole thing, Glenda. And if you do that, honey, you can do it. The lady I'm talking to is not dumb. You're smart. You can do it. You just have not chosen to do it yet. So now it's time to choose. So hang on. We'll help you. If you want financial peace, we'll give it to you. You go back through it. This time be serious, like your life depends on it. Because, honey, it does. The quality of your life depends on you getting your act together. and dump that stuff, man, and let's make the move. Make it happen. Boom, 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 boom. You don't have to be a mess. You're choosing to be a hot mess. Change the choices, and you can do it. You're the kind of lady that can do it. You got the stuff. I'm amazed what happens when people follow through on all that.
When they do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep. I know.
And how pitiful the results are when you just do part of it.
Yes. But the pain is you're giving up things in the present that you feel like, oh my gosh, well, we need this and that. And
well, it's the devil that I know.
It's that.
It's the mess that I know.
Yep.
I'm used to my mess.
And the thing is that you can get back to part of the life that you're, sacrificing right now and the things that you love, right? I mean, same with like a car, for instance. I know a car is not an animal, but like, we tell people sell the car. You can get that car again one day when you pay for it. Like, it's not like you never get that car again, but do it the right way. And even like think, something like the animals. It's like, yeah, maybe for a season you don't have animals, but if you really miss that, then you work towards a life to get them back and to be able to say, yeah, we want that life again. And that's the beautiful thing about it, but you're just doing it the right way, which the order is really important in that. To find the success and to do it well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, me and you didn't grow up on a farm, but your mom did, and her emotional attachment to animals is almost zero.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Dad weeps.
Because they always leave because you sell them. That's what you do. You're on a farm. That's what you do, and so the need to, so she still does not grasp the idea that our dogs are one of our children. She can't get that. She's just like, you are a weird man. And so... you
do love a dog.
I do love a dog. And I love babies and dogs.
I know. That's what a lot of people don't know. Internet. Y'all should know that. Dave can be harsh. But
not to babies and dogs.
But when your dog is... Yeah, you came over when we had to put Nala down. And Dad laid in the floor with our lab and cried before we put her down the night before. I mean, you
really are oversharing.
You do. What? It's beautiful. It's so great. He does. He loves dogs and babies.
My grand dog for 10 years. Man.
I know. It was terrible.
It was a good dog.
It was so sad. Oh, losing a dog is terrible. Terrible. So we want you to be able to get back.
We're not animal haters is the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to go, 16 cats. Yeah, something's got to go. Yeah. And that's 15 of them.
Yeah.
Or 16 in the case of a cat, but yeah.
Not cat people, but I don't know. Maybe we can get there.
Oh, here we go. The hate's going to come pouring in. I love it. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey guys, you know this, but I'll say it anyway. College is freaking expensive, and student loans are out of control. The average private student loan debt in 2023 was $55,000. So if you're in over your head with private student loan debt, don't beat yourself up. Look, we've all made mistakes with money in the past. What matters is doing something about it now. So if you're in distress with private student loans, that's private, not federal student loans, call Y-Refi. Y-Refi refinances defaulted private student loans that other places won't touch and gives you a custom loan built for you based on your ability to pay. To learn more about this custom refinancing option, call 844-2-RAMSEY or go to yrefi.com/Ramsey. Rachel Cruze, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Kayla is with us in Fort Worth, Texas. Hey, Kayla, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can I help?
Well, my husband and I were trying to figure out how to increase our income so we can meet our monthly expenses and then also pay debt down. kind of feel at a loss at the moment. So we're total debt we have is about $37,000. We need about $7,000 a month just to meet our living expenses, and then make minimum payments just on card balances right now. My husband
$37,000?
Yes.
You don't need $7,000 a month to do that. What in the world are your living expenses?
So we're just looking at the expenses, like paying the rent, just living, all of that, and then paying down debt, just the expenses that we have trying to.
How much are do you know how much the minimum payments are? Not living expenses, just the debt payments.
The debt payments, they're really minimal right now. So we have the total credit card debt is $7,000. Four of those are like 500 limits. One's $3,000, two are $1,000 limits, and those are about maxed out.
Okay, but how much money do you guys need to keep those current per month?
What's the minimum payments on your $37,000 worth of debt equal per month?
So for the card payments, it's just $650 a month minimum.
Okay.
Then we have another $600 to $700 a month on a larger loan of $21,000.
Okay.
And then, just living expenses on top of that, and the car payments.
Okay, so...
Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah,
it was only $28,000. You said you had $37,000 in debt.
How much is your car payment?
Car payment is $250 a month. We owe $9,000, and it's worth about $10,500.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, you're getting up to
so $2,000 a month covers your minimums, and you need $5,000 a month in addition to that to live.
$3,000. Yeah. How much is rent?
Rent is $2,600.
$2,600. Okay.
What's your household income?
That's my husband just started a new job a month and a half ago. It's car sales, and he just started. Last month he made $1,400 total, and this month, halfway through, he's made $16 just in the half month. So he's doubled that at least. And people keep telling him at work that come the third month, the back end stuff rolls in, and that it should not be hard for him to do about $10,000 a month. And he works hard at it. He's there 6 days a week at least. And
how much are you working, Kayla?
We have 3 kids at home, 5 and under, and the little bit I do is like $180 a month. It's just content writing. Yeah, it's not much.
So your problem is your husband started a new job and then he isn't making any money yet.
Not correct.
That's your real problem.
Yeah. So we're living on a prayer, waiting until it comes in.
What was he doing before?
Last year, he had quit his job of 17 years at Costco. He was working there as a supervisor. He quit the job after 2 or 3 years of calculating risks. We took out the 401k that he had built up from that to move here to Fort Worth and to start a photography business that he had wanted to do. And he made sure there was about a year's worth of living expenses from that to live on, but nothing has come from it. So he went out and got a job a couple months ago to make sure, we can get to the point where we can make we didn't have any credit card debt at that point. He paid all of that off.
Is all the savings gone?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the bottom line is, Kayla, you're terrified. This is pretty scary. You got little babies at home and no money to eat with.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I'm sorry, hon. And he's not a bad guy. He's out there working and trying.
Oh, no. He's working so hard.
Nobody's throwing him under the bus, but this is a scary situation.
Do you have family around Kayla at Fort Worth?
No.
No, they're actually back on the West Coast where we moved from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Are you guys in a good church?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, we got connected really good.
Good, because you need good community around you while you turn this around. So what we need to say out loud, and he says it with you too, is that I don't really care what the guys at work say. I care what actually happens. And so if he doesn't get his income up very rapidly at the car lot, he's going to be doing something else.
Yeah, and That's a struggle. He was thinking of going back to Costco, but like right now, what he just made in this half month so far, that's about the same, excuse me, that he was making before.
Yeah, and you
so
can't.
It really wouldn't do him any good.
And what it may look like too, Kayla, is working nights and weekends and supplementing some of this. And I mean, because even the margins of just living and you guys paying rent and eating and all of that, right? Regardless of paying off debt, just
I'm not worried about you paying off debt right now. I'm worried about you paying the rent.
So that's what I'm saying is I think that maybe for a transitional period, there's probably a reality that he's going to probably get a second job until, which is the prayer, that this third, fourth month hits with his new job. And then you're able to say, okay, good. Now we have a foundation under us.
So,
and this is what we can go for.
There's
But
two things that will help you with the level of fear, the terror rising up in your stomach, up into your throat, okay? Thing number one is you need to carefully prioritize the money that you do have. And I'll do it for you right now. Are you ready? We call it the four walls when you're in a crisis, and you're in a crisis. You got to keep the four walls of your house up. And that means, well, first, number one, food. Before you buy anything else, you buy groceries, not eating out. You guys can't afford to eat out.
Oh, yeah, we don't.
Before you do anything else, you buy groceries without guilt. It's your primary job before you do anything. The second thing you do is you keep the lights and the water on, utilities. The third thing you do is you pay the rent.
Okay.
Before you do anything, you do those three things. And I think you've got enough to pull those off already.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so.
And that means that some of the rest of this may not get paid this month because we made choices of what was important versus what was less important. And then as we get on down through there, I'm going to pay a car payment because I need transportation. But MasterCard and student loans and protecting my credit are not on the list of things I worry about when I'm in your situation.
Okay.
You're just going to get behind with them. If something has to be behind, choose the right thing to be behind.
Okay.
And that's called unsecured debt. That's what the right thing is. And it's a bunch of other miscellaneous crap that's in your life that you just go, we just can't do that because we bought food, lights, water, rent, car, food, shelter, transportation, clothing. You probably don't need any clothing. You're probably okay for a while. But you just get by. You just get by. You just get by. You just get by. And then his income comes up, or he changes jobs and his income comes up, and we start to make moves on these other things later. First catching up on anything that's behind, and later doing that. But if you'll take care of food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and utilities before you do anything else, your peace level will increase. I know I was in your situation once.
Okay.
Then secondly, the thing that goes with that is to budget. And again, that's just on paper, on purpose. Use the Every Dollar app. Work with your husband. And both of you look at these numbers every night. We have enough for food. We have enough for lights and water. We're going to pay the rent right here. We're going to pay the car payment right there. And when you're looking at the plan and you're executing the plan in forced ranked order of priority, it is going to give you peace, a lot more peace than you have right now, because right now you've got chaos on top of shortage.
Yeah, and Kayla's down the line. Christian will pick up and we'll give you a Every Dollar premium code so that you can connect this to your checking account and you guys
free.
And for it to be real time. But that's one of the best things that you guys can do.
You can stay right on top of it. And you call us again if you need help, hon. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey guys, Ramsey Solutions started small and grew fast. Because of that rapid growth, there were times when our systems slowed us down. That's why we switched to NetSuite. It works for us and it'll help your business too. Whether you're starting on a card table like I did, or you're well on your way to becoming a multi-million-dollar company, NetSuite can scale with you and help you communicate and plan better. Because you know your day-to-day up and down and sideways, but accounting, analytics, and supply chain are on another level. So maybe you're just not tech savvy. That can be okay. NetSuite will help at your speed and whatever your situation. More than 37,000 companies use NetSuite to know their numbers and their business better. So check out NetSuite today and find out how they can help you become the business you want to be 5 or 30 years from now. And right now, you can download NetSuite's free KPI checklist designed to give you consistently excellent performance at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. EveryDollar is our world-class budgeting app that helps you manage money the Ramsey way. It simply works wherever you are, iOS, Android, online. You can start EveryDollar for free and immediately see where you stand with your money. Get organized. If you're new to EveryDollar, we'll show you a long-term financial roadmap, track your net worth, debt-free date, retirement date, baby steps progress, and, of course, help you keep up with your money. And we'll coach you along the way. Download the free app for iOS, Android, or go to everydollar.com and get started on the desktop. George and Jade will be hosting a budgeting live stream on YouTube on the 11th of April, and they will be answering the top questions we get around budgeting. How do I get started? Can I budget and still enjoy life? Dealing with changes that come up through the month and how couples can budget together. Stay tuned for more details. If you have budgeting questions that you want answered on that live stream, feel free to do so. Just email them to us at ask@RamseySolutions.com, ask@RamseySolutions.com.
Okay, so one of the best parts I love hosting with you is the generational difference. Okay, you're like a classic boomer. I'm a millennial. And the generation below me is Gen Z, okay?
Yeah, this I know.
Yes, okay. Okay, so we're going to play a game. Dave, try not to make a face.
Try not to make a face. I don't play poker for a reason.
This came out in CNBC.com.
Oh, brother.
In fact,
right there, we started off wrong already.
Ready? 1 in 4 Gen Z taxpayers say that they need a therapist now to deal with the stress of tax filing season. Additionally, 54% filing taxes of Gen Z, they were brought to tears. They were brought to tears in the past or expect to cry this year over taxes.
That's fabulous. So I got one word.
It's trauma. It's trauma.
I got one word for you.
Of realizing taxes. And this is someone that goes to therapy. I love therapy.
I got one word for you. Vote.
Oh my gosh. How did we turn this into that?
Well, I mean, where do you think taxes come from?
I know.
The people you vote for. So try voting for somebody that don't like taxes.
Okay, yes, but regardless of party, you pay taxes.
Huh?
Regardless of party, you pay taxes.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yes.
I've been doing it a while.
Sure, yeah. Some higher than others, but
never cried, but been doing it a while. Hadn't seen a therapist for it, but been doing it a while.
Anyways, we read that in a content meeting right before the show, and I just thought, like, oh no,
we're crying.
Oh no, I mean the bar, you guys, it's so low, like.
So low for what you cry about?
Like the next generation, though. Like, seriously, if you just go to work, and they do suck. Taxes are not fun.
Oh, but I don't cry. I get angry.
But you can do this.
I'm
you can
perpetually
do this.
Angry in April.
Okay, so for that, is it I'm even scared to ask, from a boomer's opinion.
From a boomer's perspective.
Is it that we haven't prepped every generation for what it looks like from like a workforce standpoint? The applications of being an adult, like, is it that the reality hasn't been talked about or taught, or, what do we think that is for real though? If 1 in 4 Gen Z said they have to go see a therapist because of the amount of stress because of tax filing season.
There's a couple things, possibilities there, because we've got 1,100 folks on our team, and the vast majority of the people in this building are Gen Z.
It's a lot of young people and millennials.
And millennials.
Yeah. We have a young team.
There's a few Xers and a very few boomers in the building. Okay, and so we've got a crew of these kind of people, and honestly, the people that work here aren't crying or seeing a therapist over their taxes. So I'm calling BS on the survey to start with.
Oh, you're going to the source.
I think that these two generations have more tough people in them than that survey indicates. That survey says the entire generation's a bunch of wusses, and that's just not true. That's not my experience with Gen Z. I do find, and I've said this many times, and I said it on Fox last night, and it got all the hate people going again, but I was on Fox Business yesterday afternoon. And so, but the millennials got trashed for being participation trophy, living in their mother's basement and all that crap, being, avocado toast latte drinking, all that crap. Then some of that same kind of stuff is coming on to Gen Z. And I am not a hater of those two generations, because my personal experience inside this building with the ones we have hired is quite different. And the ones that call here on the air.
Yeah.
They call on the air. They're very mature, very serious, very focused, very missional. Now, I have observed on those two generations in particular that there's very little middle ground. They don't hang out in the middle. They're either very serious, very missional, mature beyond their years, charge the gates of hell with a water pistol, or they absolutely suck. They're just horrible. Participation trophy, live in their mother's basement, useless, entitled, arrogant brats. And so they're either the best or they're the worst. The ones and they're great to interview, because they'll just come into the interview and go, "You owe me," and I'm like, "I owe you where the front door is. Hit it," and the interview's over. Or they come in and go, "Put me in, coach. I'll charge the gates. I want to do work that matters, and Ramsey does work that matters, and I want to be part of this team." And they're really easy to interview, because boomers come in and they lie, they fake it. They act like they act like they think you want it.
They know it all.
They don't care. They care so much what you think that they put on the chameleon. It's a donkey dressed up like a thoroughbred.
Yeah, yeah.
And they make you think. But the Gen Z, they don't give a crap what you think. They just is what they is. I love them. I think they're awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I don't believe that number. I don't think that 3 out of 4, 75% of the Gen Z are so wussified that they're sitting on the floor, sucking their thumb, crying over their taxes. I think that's CNBC bullcrap.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I'm calling it. I just don't observe. Do you observe that with those generations that are that weak?
No, but I do think
they're that weak.
It's not a weakness.
It is weak.
I do think that like your generation and older, there was more of a mentality of like, you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you get to work, you shut up, you do the thing, and you go. Where the pendulum, I think, has swung so far in actually tapping into some level of emotional awareness and comfortable with like, okay, what's really going on? Trauma in my past, I seek help, like people, you know what I mean? Like that's applauded, right? So there's more of that, which I think
but that's different than I'm crying for doing my taxes.
I was going to say, some people see it as weakness, not necessarily, but I do think that the emotional state
crying for doing your taxes is straight up weakness. That's not, that's just wuss.
But I do think that the emotional space, right? Like even parenting, I'm a young parent. And so like you hear the extremes of parenting and it's like, oh, well, are you sad about wearing a coat to school today? Tell me about your set, and it's like this whole thing where you're like, you just got to wear a coat. Like, so
Put the coat on.
I do think that there is a level of where the emotions can drive a lot of things in life, more so than the boomer generation.
Now, if you wanted to buy into some of the rhetoric on the stereotypes, which I'm not sure I do, I just did a good job of defending the generation, I think.
Yeah. I didn't think CNBC.
The thing that has been thrown at them that could be true is they've never really had a hard time, so they're not tough.
Yes, I would say that's fair.
And
and
Ken Coleman's done a lot of preaching and ranting lately about teach your kids to do hard things. Let them get a callus. Teach your kids to do hard things.
And don't be the bulldozer parent where you pave the way so everything's easy. And that is what happens.
Yeah, a helicopter followed by a bulldozer. Whatever it is. Yeah, because helicopters, we are sure now, create snowflakes. We're positive.
And
that's
I think
where
it's more the
snowflakes come from.
bulldozing parents that clear the way, so there is no hard. They
That's
don't.
what I mean. Yeah.
They don't have any level of it. Yeah.
We as parents, we love our children. We want to make life good for them, but by not allowing them, not putting them in situations where they learn to do hard things, they're not tough. And because life, you got to be a little tough sometimes.
And Gen Z is the first generation where these smartphones, like my generation, we at least had flip phones. Like I remember flip phones. Like the technology progressed, but I do wonder too with that. But anyways.
I'm sure screens are at the heart of most evil. But yeah.
I do wonder.
No question.
Social media. Anyways,
it's an
that was
interesting
good.
discussion. So I get to take up.
But I like that you were like, I don't believe CNBC's
I don't believe
survey.
that.
1 in 4.
I mean, have we got the only 700 of them in the nation that are tough? I mean, really, I don't believe that. I mean, because we got the people you and I work with every day are not any of that. They're great.
No,
they're great.
Yes.
Love them. This is the Ramsey Show. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Open phones this hour. Rachel Cruze, Ramsey personality, co-host of the ever-popular Smart Money Happy Hour, and my daughter, #1 best-selling author. She's my co-host. The phone number is 888-825-5225. And Maria is next. Maria is in Reno. Hi, Maria. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Well, first of all, it's a privilege to be able to ask this question because my husband and I have been following your baby steps, and we did financial peace before we got married. So now we're stuck, though, because we went off script. So we started the baby steps.
You're stuck because what?
We went off script. We were following all your baby steps, and then we kind of just went, woo! And there's no chapter.
You fell off the proverbial wagon, okay?
So I'm hoping it wasn't a stupid decision. But anyways, it was good intentions. So we saved the 20% for a down payment. And at that time, just with family circumstances, we thought we would offer for my mom to come and find property with us with 2 homes and whatnot and kind of get her out of her situation. And there was a variety of reasons that played into that. But just, she could get out of debt, whatnot, pay for a house that she could live in without making payments, and then be able to work and save for her retirement and whatnot.
So your mom and you went in and bought a house together?
So what we did was we found property with 2 homes, but it is 1 parcel. But there's 2 homes on it, and they both were fixer-uppers. Still are. We're working on them. But at least where we're at, the dilemma at this point is how do we legally kind of sort all this out? Because we bought it. It was kind of like green lights all the way. And we did counsel before we bought with a lawyer friend and some other friends of like, can we make this work like legally? How will this all go down? And they're like, yeah, we can sort it all out. So we felt like we had green lights, and then we found this property and whatnot. But we went in, she went in 25% of the purchase price. We went in 75%. We're all on title. But now we're just trying to figure out how to legally kind of sort this out, what's going in whose trust, how do we really figure out percentage of ownership. Like, ideally, she feels like for her retirement consideration, she should keep a stake in real estate. The advice my husband and I received was buy her out and get her off title. It would be much simpler. And so we're kind of just like scratching our heads. It seems simple and like positive, like we could figure this out going in, and now it just kind of seems muddy to us.
So
like
what you're saying is the counsel that you received sucked.
Well, it sounded...
It did. Whoever this lawyer is, you're going to stay away from him. He's stupid. Yeah, we'll figure it out later. That's a dumb butt plan. Okay. Because you got yourself in a pinch now. You know,
So,
it's a mess. You got a mess. You got a relational mess. You got a legal mess, and you got a real estate mess, and you got 2 houses under construction.
Yes, we do.
This is chaos and stress everywhere around it. Oh my Lord, what a mess. Yeah, buy her out. That's the cleanest.
Okay, so, but if you were her, or if you were giving her advice, I guess it's
I would take the money and go buy me something.
like you would leave,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, just long-term considerations.
Yeah. Because she's in a mess with her daughter. It's a mess. Who wants to be in a mess? It's a mess.
guess.
It ain't going to clean up either. The only possible thing you can do, and I have no idea if you can pull this off in Reno, California or not, but check with the city and see if you can subdivide the parcel and run a lot line between them. Have 2 parcels, and then you could just deed her half, and she owns it.
Okay.
And that way you lost some money, but you kind of deserve to.
Oh, gosh.
No, I mean, that is kind of why, like, let's figure this out now, because if we have some sunk costs, we need to just swallow it and move on. But
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah, I'm serious. I mean, I don't want to hurt your mom, and you don't want to hurt your mom. And you know, if you buy her out and you let her stay there, you're going to have some clear family relational boundaries as to what you're just going to let her live there free the rest of her life. What's the plan?
So,
That's part of the buyout. I mean, you got to lay out the terms of the buyout. See, what you all didn't do is you violated the begin with the end in mind principle. And that means you have to write out everything and every possible negative scenario ahead of time and have exit strategies on everything before you do the deal. Now, instead, you're trying to unring the bell.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to do that. And so without a tearing, without people being hurt, and because
What's your mom saying,
everybody in the
Maria?
whole thing's got a bunch of different expectations,
Yeah,
right?
what is she thinking in office? Is she concerned, or is it more you guys are concerned on your end?
Honestly, in the threesome, it's probably just me because I'm more of a long-term thinker.
Yeah.
They're all more like, we can figure this out.
When?
I think, well, I'm wanting it done now. Like, can we
when
figure
are we?
this out
All
now?
these people that keep saying we can figure this out. When is it they're going to do it? Since they didn't do it beforehand.
Right. No, I hear you. I mean, I'm on the call, right? We're
Yeah. I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying the decision overall, you're aware before you called, is a mess.
And she's willing to do. I think she needs to take time to look into like just retirement planning in general.
Yeah.
But her first thought was like, I need to keep a stake in real estate. But that wasn't like our thought going into it that was going to be her thought.
Yeah. So I would either subdivide the property and give her the half she lives on, and you have to get with most cities and municipalities, you go before the zoning board and they approve a parcel. A change in parcel, one parcel into 2, dividing it. And it'll have to do with the zoning in the area. Typically, you're allowed to have so many square feet for a single family in that particular zone. It's an R5, an R2, or whatever, residential, whatever. And so then the zoning board will tell you, you have a surveyor come out, survey, draw a new lot line between the 2 houses, and with setbacks and everything, and it's all set up with the city and approved. Boom, then you deed it over to her. If that is not possible in the zoning situation you're sitting in, then I'd probably sell the whole property or buy her out, one of the 2. Because what you've got now is not going to end well, hon. You can smell it in the air, and that's why you're calling. I'm sorry you got yourself into this, but do please clean it up. This is The Ramsey Show. Our event season is in full swing. We've got 3 big events on the books right now. The first one is our big dog, the Total Money Makeover Weekend here on the Ramsey campus, May 10th and 11th, Friday evening and all day Saturday. It's a weekend-long event, and we're going to have everybody speaking. Rachel, of course, will be talking. I'll be talking. George Camel, Jade. Ken is going to be talking about how to increase your income. Dr. Deloney about how to increase your peace. Who am I leaving out? Somebody. So everybody's going to be there. All the Ramsey personalities. And when you leave, you will have a detailed plan on not just getting out of debt, but becoming wealthy. And we will have convinced your friend that thinks you're crazy. And when they leave after coming with you for the weekend, they will also be crazy, just like you. So it'll be right on track. It's a 2-day event. It's the ultimate motivator to get fired up and to live the life you've always wanted. We're in Nashville, May 10th and 11th. Great to visit this town anyway. And it is going to be a fabulous, fabulous weekend. It is approaching a sellout. It's not sold out, but you can still get tickets. So you better get them now because it's only about a month away, right? So RamseySolutions.com/events. And then a week and a half later, I'm going to be doing a 2-night event. George is going to help me, called Dave Ramsey's Investing Essentials, where we go into the basics of investing, but we also are going to go beyond and do something I've never done and open my personal playbook on what I do with my personal investments, and that includes a detailed look on the second night on real estate. I own several $100 million worth of real estate. How did I do that? And how do I select real estate? What do I do? What's the process? This is not a TikTok seminar by some guy who wished he did it once. I've done it a bunch. It's my favorite thing, as a matter of fact. So come on and join us. We'd love to have you. It's a virtual event. You can get your tickets again at RamseySolutions.com/events. And then you guys are doing this fabulous event. It's October 24th through the 26th, a true weekend-long event. It's a big event. Marriage and Money Getaway here on campus at the Ramsey Event Center. Dr. John Deloney and Rachel Cruze. And this event, man, last year, people were completely changed.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Marriages were saved.
It's amazing. When you come, and I think with the mindset of like, it's a getaway, right? You leave your kids, you come as a couple to a fun city like Nashville, and just, in the mindset too of like, we want to grow, we want to be stretched, we want to learn. And so all of that together, and we have fun. John and I, it's a fun weekend.
Oh, you and John are funny, that's for sure.
And our spouses came last year and did a panel, so you never know if that'll happen again. I know.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, it's a
Sheila and Winston will tell you the truth now.
It's a really fun weekend, and we sold out of like the top tier at the event last year. Like it sold out before, so. It's been a quick seller, so make sure to get your tickets.
Yeah, there's not that many, hardly any left on it, and it's in October. So RamseySolutions.com/events for all 3 of those, and very proud to present all of those to you. Today's question comes from Grace in Colorado.
She says, I'm a stay-at-home mom with 2 small children, and I'm 6 months pregnant. My husband died suddenly last week. He handled all the finances. I lost touch with it when I got busy with the kids. I don't know if there's a will or life insurance. I don't know the password of his computer. Can you direct me to a checklist of how to get through this? I want to check the boxes, but I need guidance, so I'm not Googling what to do every night.
Goodness.
Oh, man. Oh, Grace.
So I assume, James, that we have Grace's contact information, of course, because it's obviously not a radio answer for something this tragic and in depth. So what we will do, Grace, is we're going to hook you up with one of our Ramsey counselors, coaches that's been through our training. We're going to pay for it. It won't cost you a dime. They're going to meet with you and hold your hand and walk you through every bit of this. And they'll also connect you with SmartVestor Pro, who can help guide you through the insurance issues and if there's any investing to be done when all the smoke clears, so to speak. Then we can figure out what we're doing here. But there's ways to discover. There's a database you can tap into to find out if life insurance exists. There's not to find out about a will, but the coach will even help you get with a computer specialist and see if we can get the stinking computer open. So I'm so sorry, honey. What a horrible, horrible place to be left in. But you've got friends here, and we will walk with you. We are mandated by the book we believe in to take care of widows and orphans. and we will. We will. You can count on that. So, stick.
But for people listening, like when it's a situation like this, though, for real, what's the to even begin? Because in my head, I'm like, yeah, you go down to like an IT, company and get your computer.
First thing we try to do is get the computer open, and hopefully that helps you find a will if there is one.
And find any.
But a life insurance professional can help you with the database. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but there's a search you can do, and it costs like $5 or something
to be able to go in and
see if there's anything showing up on life insurance. Obviously, if there's any file drawers or any hard paper areas, you go through those and try to find wills and life insurance
or anything.
Depending on the assets and the debt and so forth, you may need to contact an attorney and do a probate. You may not. He may not have left anything. Obviously, we've got to start taking the primary thing I hear right here is I've got to figure out how you're going to eat and feed children. A pregnant lady is going to feed 2 small kids in next week. Because I have no idea where money's coming from at this point. So I need to assess how much money we've got, where we've got it, how we can create some money. Contact local church to come around you, make sure you got food. We've got to do all these things and just put our arms around you and love you well. So there's so many things here.
And if there is family, a lot of these situations you end up just selling and going with family, being with family for a season.
As a safety net.
Yeah, for a season.
Not as a permanent thing, but as a safety net to get on your feet after this. But Google probably can't help you, hon. I don't think Mr. Google is going to send much love your way. So what this does illustrate, though, is why it's so important for couples to handle their money together, why it's so important to have a will with a central location where everyone knows where it is. In the same place, we call it a legacy drawer at our house. I've got a file drawer that's got all the wills and the trusts and the life insurance and the car titles and the so forth. All of my passcodes are in a system on my computer, and 3 family members, 3 people know where it is, and they can all open it if something happens to me. So Sharon's not trapped out, and all the different 9 million, we've all got passwords to everything in the world. And so you got to be able to access every bit of that. And so
and it's even small things of what bills are automated, which ones are you paying directly, you know what I mean?
And that's why you need to be involved in the process together.
That's right.
You should
but it's even
always
small
be
tactical
handling
things.
your money together. And so I've got a friend in his 70s that just passed, and I'm walking with his wife, one of our best friends for some 40 or 50 years now. We've been friends, and she's a very, very smart woman, but was not very involved in the day-to-day. And so she's having to learn how to do all of that at 70 years old now.
Yeah.
And so you got to, it's the only way that it's having life insurance, having a will, having a game plan, working together is how you say I love you. Not participating together is not how you say I love you. That's not right. And so it leaves people in the situation, this poor lady here. And I understand. I mean, she's pregnant, got 2 little babies. She didn't have time to mess with it. She couldn't breathe. She got, the littles take everything out of you when you got a situation like that. But still, it leaves you so vulnerable. And it's just sad. So we'll be with you, darling. Yeah, and you guys out there can know that Ramsey takes care of these situations when we run across them. That's for sure. 100% of the time. We have for 35 years of doing this, and we will continue to do that. And widows and orphans. This is The Ramsey Show. Rachel Cruze, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Hey, there's always, not always, most days, there's 50 to 200 folks out here watching the show in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions. We do this show from 1 to 4 Central Time, Monday through Friday. There's 2 Ramsey Personalities. Usually I'm one of them if I'm in town, sitting here and answering your questions for 3 hours. We do a 3-hour talk radio show that turns into a YouTube show, turns into a podcast, all of these kinds of things. And we invite you to come in and hang out with us. It's a completely free experience if you're visiting the Nashville area. We're just south of Nashville in a wonderful little town called Franklin, Tennessee. And little Civil War town, classic Southern Square, the whole bit. And you can check it out if you're here checking out Nashville or something, and come by. Cookies, homemade cookies are free. When you walk in, you smell Mama's Kitchen. And the coffee is free, and the entertainment is questionable. So come in and hang out with us in the lobby. We'd love to have you anytime here at Ramsey Solutions. We built this lobby for that experience when we built this building. It's designed for that. And part of it is the debt-free stage. And on the debt-free stage is Miss Katie. Hi, Katie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. Where do you live?
I live in Dallas, Texas.
Very fun. And how much debt have you paid off, Katie?
$80,613.54.
I love it. And how long did that take you?
Just under 12 months.
Whoa! And your range of income during that time?
I started out making $29,000, a little more. And then this year it shot up to $113,600.
Wow. What do you do for a living?
I'm a registered nurse.
So you've been working
Yeah.
a lot. A lot. Did you just get out of nursing school?
Yes.
Okay.
So
that's what started this whole thing. Then.
Yeah. My debt was entirely just a student loan from a 1-year nursing program.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you paid it off in 1 year?
In 1 year.
You did it.
So you have lived on beans and rice.
Exactly.
These numbers are, I mean, like you're the coupon queen, you're have no life.
Oh,
all you did was work and pay debt.
I know. I'd go bother people for their shifts or part of their shifts. My favorite was the 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. because you got your overtime, you got weekend pay, you got the bonus pay. It was awesome.
Working around the clock. What kind of nurse are you?
I am a pediatric emergency room nurse.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Well, thank you from a mom of 3 littles.
Yeah. Wow.
Good for you.
What rewarding work, too.
It's pretty awesome.
And sometimes terrifying, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Wow. Look at you.
So what happened a year ago when you got out of nursing school?
I mean,
and you thought,
why'd you get so fired up, and how'd you get in touch with this Ramsey stuff?
So, I was crazy and decided that was my second college degree. My first one, my parents paid for, shout out. And then I just wanted to be a nurse, and I wanted to be a nurse as fast as possible. And that required taking out a little bit of money. And then after I finished nursing school, I was introduced by my boyfriend, Kyle. He would just start playing the podcast, like when we'd be in the car. It was super like low key. Like it was never like, hey, I think you should do this. It was, oh, hey, we're going to listen to the, yeah, it's just background music. And then I got kind of interested, and then it became my like guilty pleasure after work. I'd go home and sit in my bed after working night shift, and I'd put on the show before, and I'd work from home, my work from home job. So
you had 2 jobs.
Oh yeah, tons. I did everything under the moon. Like I was ready to work. I knew nursing school, like as hard as everyone says it was, I was ready to work harder when I got out. And I think the idea of, oh my God, I just took out all this money and I'm going to have this payment for 20 years was so scary. So.
Very nice.
Good for you. What was the most lucrative side hustle you did?
I was a big Instacart girl.
Okay.
It was really awesome. We live a little bit north of like the Highland Park area, and there's lots of people who like their groceries delivered there.
And you were there. Katie helped.
But the best thing of all, pay-wise, was the 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. overtime, triple time, all that stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. I'd work 4, 5, 6 days in a row. Like at one point, my manager was like, are you okay? Like, slow down.
Good for you, Katie.
Like, don't work this much. And I'm like,
I love it. Way to go. How's it feel to be free?
It's crazy. I would let my paycheck hit my account. I'd take care of just my basic 4 walls. I lived like I still was in college. I didn't buy anything. Didn't really do anything. And then that same day, I drained my account to Sally Mae.
Mm-hmm. And a big old chunk would go down every week, every month. Yeah.
It was crazy. And then all of a sudden we got to the end and I was like, what do I do with all this money? Can I stop working as hard now?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Wow.
Good for you. Okay, so what was the hardest part? Because I'm like, that's a full year, 12 months of just doing this.
Getting it.
I think the hardest part was watching everyone else. Just a lot of my friends at work would buy new cars, or people would come in with new things. They'd go out, and I was like, oh, like that'd be really fun, but like that's not for me. Like it's hard
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. It was hard. I think really just the hardest part was kind of watching the world go on. While
So
you're
was that
stuck
harder
in it.
at the beginning or the end?
I'd say probably about the middle, because I
Beginning,
was,
you're all
going-
fired up.
Yeah, I was.
And
ready.
end, you can see the light.
Yeah.
But in the middle, it's like I'm stuck.
Yeah. And it was like summerish, and everybody was doing all these fun things, and I was like, I got to go pick up another shift. I got to go deliver some groceries.
I got to keep on my track here.
Okay, so would you tell people, Katie, because a lot of people, you know, their journey of getting out of debt looks so different, right? And someone listening that's thinking, okay, I want to dive in, I want to do this. Would you recommend, if they have the ability, like you just go full force, short amount of time, all the pain, but it's short? Or like you could spread this out for 24 months and it's less pain, but it's going to take a little bit longer?
I've always been like a super go-getter. So, I mean, as long as you mark a clear finish line, guns blazing. Like,
just go.
She's a rip the Band-Aid off girl. Yeah, you don't want her being your nurse
So
if there's a
great.
Band-Aid involved. Yeah. It's like, pop! Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, we're done.
It's pretty true.
That's so great. I love it. Who was your biggest cheerleaders?
My biggest cheerleader by far was my boyfriend, Kyle.
Where is he? Is he here?
He's over here.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
All
Hi,
right. Hey,
Kyle.
Kyle.
Hi,
All right.
Kyle.
Yeah.
She's great. We love Katie.
And then all my family that's here.
Oh, you brought your family too?
Yeah,
Are
they're all over there too.
Oh my
So
gosh,
they're all
so
super proud of you too then. Very good. Anybody tell you you're crazy while you're doing it?
Most of the nurses I know.
Well, it's kind of a stark contrast for them to have to stand next to you.
Yeah.
They're going, I'm standing neck deep in my stupid and doing nothing about it, and this girl's cleaning it up. It's a little bit shaming just having you around. You're amazing. You are a warrior princess.
And you're making like 113. I mean, I guess that's with some of the side hustles. So you like did some of that. But as a nurse, but I'm like, you're going to make great money. No payments.
There's lots of money if you want to go after it.
That's right. That's right. Good for you, Katie.
Yeah.
How old are you?
25.
Oh my gosh.
I did it. My goal was my 25th birthday, and I was like 10 days early. That's pretty
Wow.
cool.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
So great.
Hey, you're a hero. We're proud of you. Well done, kiddo. Very, very, very well done. You're a warrior princess. That's pretty amazing. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Don't get in this girl's way. Wow. Wow. Yeah, just get after it. Get it. She's a living proof my granny's saying's true. There's a great place to go when you're broke. To work. Oh, my gosh. Wow. Fabulously done. All right. It's Katie from Dallas. $81,000 paid off in 12 months, starting at 29 when she got out of school, all the way to 113. And the secret sauce, work. Count it down. Oh, we've got a couple of every dollar coupons for you to give you a 1-year subscription, and you can give one away to a friend. One of those nurses needs a subscription. There we go. Count it down. Let's hear your debt-free scream.
All right. 3, 2, 1. I'm debt free!
Yeah! Woohoo! This is how it's done, boys and girls. I love it. Yes. Yes. The family is cheering her on right now.
Look at 'em.
How great.
So fun. Oh,
That's
my
so
gosh.
great.
So
this is
great.
the Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, 1 John 5:14. This is the confidence we have in approaching God, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. Vince Lombardi said, confidence is contagious, so is lack of confidence. Laura is with us in St. Louis. Hi, Laura. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, y'all. Thank you for taking my call. I'll just get straight to my question. So we just found out that our tax person has done our taxes incorrectly the past 3 years. So we owe back taxes. We are on baby step 2, so we don't have a ton of money. And we are debating on whether or not we should take out a personal loan to cover this or if we should set up a payment plan with the IRS.
Take out a personal loan.
Okay.
The worst creditor on the planet is the IRS. They have almost unlimited power. They misuse it and abuse it. They charge the highest penalties and the highest interest. They're not bankruptable. Personal loans are none of those.
Okay. All right. That's what I figured you'd say. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
can I ask a follow-up question?
Yeah, let me ask one. How the crap did you not know your taxes were screwed up for 3 years?
So my husband is a pastor, and we assumed they were doing his taxes correctly because they're different, and we just assumed they knew what they were doing.
But how did you find it?
They discovered it. That we had said something about his portion of the taxes this year. We had said it the first year, and they must have missed it. And I don't know. It was a cluster.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so you think you've got it solved, or do you need a new tax person?
No, I think they've got it figured out. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, we're looking at about $18,000, I think, in back taxes. So.
Yeah, that's enough to make me get somebody new.
I was about to say, get a second opinion, Laura, too. It'd be worth it to pay somebody else just to make sure all your bases are covered.
Yeah, well, the benefit of them was they were free, but
and worth every dime. And they were worth every penny, yeah.
Oh, man.
Worth.
Oh, gosh, no. Yeah.
They're the nicest people, though.
A lot of stupid people are.
It happens.
Yeah.
Okay. My follow-up question, though, should we go to our bank? We have US
let me tell you what's even worse. They go to your church.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's even worse, yeah.
Yeah.
Get a new tax person. Okay, anyway, how can I help? What's the other question?
Should we go through our bank? We have U.S. Bank that we bank with. Should we go through a credit union instead or through our bank? What would be better, you think?
Credit union.
Credit union. Okay.
Yeah. In general, they're more human. Now, a small-town local bank is fine, but a credit union versus a big bank. We don't ever recommend anyone do business with the mega banks. The Bank of America is the Fifth Thirds. They have no soul. And your credit union's got a soul. Your small-town local bank's got a soul. Yes, they're bankers, but they there's a human element to them. You're not just a number like you are with these other banks.
When to the point with IRS debt would you say to go take out a personal loan versus just trying to pay it off?
Always. Unless you can write a check right now and pay it, I would not have IRS debt versus personal debt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, always, because they're unpredictable too, because they're incompetent. And so they're liable to do something they're not supposed to do, like go just clean out their account or something.
Yeah.
And
garnish wages.
They don't usually do that, but I've run into it over the years. So, and there's nothing that you don't have any recourse because they have unlimited power. Mm-hmm. Every other debt has to sue you before they start taking stuff. The IRS just shows up and starts taking stuff. And so it's brutal.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of it, they've owed me a refund for 4 years. I can't get out of them. I'm going to have to go before Congress to get my refund. So it's unbelievable. And it's not a refund because I overpaid. It's a refund because the law changed and we adjusted our taxes. And then they're just sitting on it under the Biden administration. We got all our refunds under the Trump administration on the same thing. But the Biden bunch is just sitting on it over there. And it's... Yeah. Okay. Ugh. All right. Tracy's with us in New York City. Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thank you so very much for taking my call.
Sure. How can I help?
I'm 51 years old, and unfortunately, I just heard about y'all like a week ago through a friend, and she told me to give y'all a call. I need help with my retirement. I only have $100,000 in there, and my job, they doesn't match. They don't do matching.
Okay. What do you make?
So, 103. But I take care of a sibling who's bipolar and deals with a lot of issues.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have debt, Tracy?
Yes.
How much debt do you have?
Oh, I'm sorry. The only debt that I have is my condo, and I owe $200,000.
Okay.
Originally, when I got it, the interest rate was like 4.89, but I was able to refinance it when the rates went down. So my rate now is two something.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of lowering my payment, I just kept it at the same payment that I was paying.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, at this point, Tracy, I would be funding 15% of your income into retirement. I would get to a point where I'm throwing as much as I can to get this condo paid off. So you have paid for real estate, you're still funding, and you have $100,000. I mean, you have a really great start. Some people that call in have nothing saved for retirement, so at least there's something there. And then and you said it's a sibling that you take care of?
Yes.
And how old are they?
He's 32.
32. Does he live with you?
No, that did not work out very well.
Yes. Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah. So Rachel's right. What we teach is a process called the baby steps. You need an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, since you're debt-free other than the house. Then you need to be putting 15% of your income, $15,000 a year, $16,000 a year, into your retirement plan, getting all the match. It should be in Roth if it can be. If you max out your 401k at work, which you shouldn't be doing, but if you do, and you need to do more, you can do a Roth with one of our SmartVestor Pros, but you need to get to $16,000 a year. Everything else beyond $16,000 a year that you have left in your budget should go to pay off your condo early.
Okay.
As quick as you get the condo paid off, I want you to max out all retirement, because our goal here is sometime in the next 15 years, when you're 66, I want the condo paid off and a huge pile of money in your nest egg.
Oh, okay.
I think you're going to be a millionaire.
Oh, I hope so. Yes.
I think you are. If you will do what I just told you to do, I think you're going to be a millionaire.
Yes. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're very smart, and you're very kind to take care of the sibling the way you are. Good work.
Mm-hmm.
Very good work.
I know.
And it's just a reminder for the rest of you out there, Rachel, that it is amazing that as we studied 10,000 millionaires, we found that the typical millionaire out of the 10,000, which is almost all of them, like 80-something%, fell in this category. They had funded their 401ks and their Roths steadily in good growth stock mutual funds, and they paid off their house. And so a very typical scenario would be we'd have a $600,000, $700,000 paid for house, and you'd have a $600,000 or $700,000 or an $800,000 nest egg that was built. And that's exactly where she's going to be.
Yeah.
And, and so if you put, like 7 and 8 together, you've got $1.5 million net worth. And so $700,000 paid for house and a $800,000 nest egg. And that's about where she's headed with the number she just gave us.
Yeah, and her company didn't match. And so the 15%, even if your company does match, does not include the employer's match.
Yeah.
So it's 15% of your money.
Of your money. That's a valid point. Very good. But the big deal is that you can do it. That's everybody says, oh well, the economy and the Biden and the Trump and the world, and it's just bad and capitalism's evil and we need anarchy and socialism and communism, like my college professor taught me, and all this bull crap out there. And the truth is, the little man is getting ahead at a faster rate, a better rate, in the United States of America than at any country, in any culture, in any time in the history of man. You have a better opportunity today than you've ever had. So stop your whining and go do it. Get after it. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.